Hi guys! Miss Lizzie here with our Pete the Cat story time today. So, we're going to read some books all about our favorite guy, Pete the Cat. Let me see if we can move him. There we go. Pete the Cat here. So, but first we're going to go over some of our summer reading stuff that we're still doing today. Let me try. So we can see. There we go. Okay. So first things first, we only have 1 week left of programs for summer reading. 1 week from today. So this is our calendar. You can still come and pick one up. We still have these available if you want to come and grab one in the library. And it tells you all the programs that are coming up in the last week. So today we have a stuffed animal sleepover drop-off later, which is really, really fun. So we're going to have some stuffed animals sleep over here at the library tonight. They're going to do some activities, they're going to sleep, we're going to read them some books, and then tomorrow morning they're going to go back home. So you can register for this on our website, but if you haven't registered yet and you'd like to come in today, it says that the drop-off is 11 to 3. You can just come on in and bring your stuffed animal friend, and you'll write a name tag for it. You can read them a bedtime story before they go, and then we'll send you any pictures that we are able to capture from any activities that they do tonight, and we'll send those to you tomorrow morning after you come and pick up your stuffed animal. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So 11 to 3 today, but if you can't make it 3, we are here until 4:30, so feel free to come then as well if you have trouble getting here between 11 to 3. Tomorrow is also the last day to submit photos for the pet contest, the pet photography contest. So the last time to vote will be next week. So you have until next Thursday to vote, starting Monday, but tomorrow is the last day to submit photos. So if you want to enter your pet or your friend's pet, a neighbor's pet, whoever, if you want to enter them into our photo contest, feel free to do that. We'll post the poll online, so you can view the poll to vote online on our Facebook page as well as our events calendar. But we also have the pictures up on a photo wall in the children's room, so you can come in and physically vote as well. So that'll be next week. We also still have a lot of pre-recorded programs going on throughout the week. We have Miss Megan has her virtual story time Monday mornings at 11. So next week she's doing that, which is a lot of fun. And then to finalize summer reading, we're going to do a dress-up story time on Zoom on the 12th, so next week. And that'll be with Miss Megan at 2:30. So you can dress up as your favorite animal or storybook character, and that way we'll do it on Zoom so we can see what you're dressed up as, and we can see everyone, and that'll be a lot of fun. So make sure you go to that 2:30, and you have to register for that so we can send you the Zoom link. So go to our website on our calendar and you can sign up for that. Now with that is also the end of our summer reading challenge. So if you have one of these, if you did your log on paper, you have to come in and hand this in to us, or else we won't know that you finished, and we won't be able to put your entries into our prize raffle, and then you won't be able to potentially win a prize basket. So if you're done, we do have until the 16th. You have until the 16th to log your reading and turn this in. But if you're done early, you can come on in and bring this to us. That's totally fine. If you can't get this to us in person, you want to send us an email of it, you want to take a picture of it, that's fine too. Just email it to us or give us a call, and we'll be happy to help you out. But this needs to come back to us so that way we can tally up, and then we can decide on which baskets you want to put your entries towards. Because you read up to 6 hours of reading, that's 14 entries into the raffle. So that means you have 14 chances to win. And that's pretty good. So you definitely want to hand this in. If you did it online via Beanstack, you don't have to worry about it because we can track all of that online. But I know a lot of people did the paper log, which is totally fine. That's what it's here for. So just make sure to get this in to us by the 16th. We will still be accepting them later that week, so if you can't get it to us by then. But the 16th is the final day of summer reading. So keep that in mind. And also at the end of this story time, we are doing a craft. We're doing a Pete the Cat headband craft. Here it is. So stay tuned until the end so you can have one of these. We have craft kits for this, so if you didn't come and pick one up, we still have plenty. If you want to come in and watch this later or do this later, feel free to come in and grab them. Don't need to register. It's fine. Just come in and visit us. We're open until 4:30. You can come grab one of these. You can grab one next week as well. We have plenty, so you can call us and let us know you'd like one. You can register online to secure one, or you can come in. It's totally fine. We have a lot. So this includes a piece of blue construction paper, black construction paper, yellow construction paper, and the template for the headband. And then what you'll need is scissors, a glue stick, black marker, and tape or a stapler. So it's really simple to do, really easy and fun. So that'll be at the end of this video. But first, we're going to read some books. So, are we ready? Should we get right into it? Now that I'm done with my spiel? Okay. Let's do the song we start with. We're going to do Hands Go Up, okay? Ready? Hands go up, hands go down. I can spin round and round. I can jump on 2 shoes. I can listen, and so can you. I can sit, I'll show you how. Story time is starting now. Okay, good job. All right, let's read our first book today. Oh, there we go. The first book I have for us today is Pete the Cat Checks Out the Library. Very apropos. Do you like coming to the library? I like when you come to the library. Pete's mom is taking him to the library for the first time. The librarian gives Pete his very own library card. Cool, says Pete. The librarian smiles. Time for the tour. Do you guys have your library card? It's really fun having a library card, huh? The librarian takes Pete through the library. There is a big desk where people wait to check out books. Pete sees some of his friends reading at a long table. It's very peaceful and quiet. How relaxing. The librarian takes Pete to her favorite room. There are lots of Pete-sized chairs and tables and shelves. There are books of every shape, size, and color. What do I do now? Pete asks. Now you read a book, the librarian says. Which book should I read? Asks Pete. You can read any book you like, says the librarian. Pete looks around. There are so many books. Pete picks up a book all about airplanes and jets. He reads it and pretends he is a stunt pilot. He flies a super fast jet and does loop-the-loops and spirals high in the sky. Wow. Then Pete finds a book with dragons, wizards, and unicorns on the cover. He reads it and imagines that he is a powerful wizard, using magic spells and a special wand to defend his castle against a fire-breathing dragon. Next, Pete opens up a book about spiders and insects. He reads it and imagines that he is a scientist studying all types of critters in the wild. He has to be very still to study some critters, and very fast to study others. What are your favorite types of books to read at the library? Are they Pete the Cat books? I like reading Pete the Cat too. Then, Pete chooses a book with all sorts of scary monsters on the cover. It is a book of fairy tales. Pete reads it and pretends that he is in a dark, spooky forest trying to outsmart a big bad wolf. Pete puts that book back on the shelf. It is too scary. Pete opens up a book about the pyramids in Egypt. He reads it and pretends that he is an explorer riding a camel across the desert and climbing to the top of a giant pyramid. Next, Pete picks up a book with all sorts of robots on the cover. He reads it and imagines that he is a robot at a robot dance party. His arms and legs make whizzing sounds when he moves. When Robot Pete speaks, he says bleep, bloop, bleep. Next, Pete picks up a book about superheroes. He reads it and makes believe that he is a superhero. He flies around the city in a colorful cape, chasing bad guys and saving the day. Then Pete spots a big book about the ocean and all its creatures. He reads it and imagines that he is a scientist in a submarine deep in the Atlantic Ocean, looking for whales, squids, and sharks. Ooh, can we see some of the sea creatures? What's this? That's a whale, that's right. And how about this over here? An octopus, that's right. There are so many wonderful books to read at the library. Pete can be whatever he imagines with a book. Reading is super groovy. The end. What do you think? I think reading is super groovy too. And just remember that we have a lot of Pete the Cat books here at the library if you want to check them out. We also will have these 3 available once I'm done with this story time if you like some of them and you want to come and get them today. And they will be on our website as well in our catalog if you want to put them on hold. All right. Shall we sing a song? All right, in the theme of Pete the Cat, we're going to sing I'm a Little Kitty Cat. And it's to the tune of I'm a Little Teapot. And we're going to use our hands and we're going to pretend we're a cat. So if you have the space, feel free, you can get on your hands and knees and really get down and act like a kitty cat. All right, ready? I'm a little kitty cat, nice and sweet. Here are my whiskers, here are my feet. When I go out hunting, mice beware, or you might just have a scare. Good job. Wow, that was really scary. Should we do that one more time? All right. Ready? Let's really pretend that we're cats. Ready? I'm a little kitty cat, nice and sweet. Here are my whiskers, here are my feet. When I go out hunting, mice beware, or you might just have a scare. Good job. All right, let's get into our next book. I'm not going to do as many songs today, so we have plenty of time for our craft at the end. All right, the next book we're going to read is Pete the Cat, Crayons Rock. Pete loves his big box of groovy crayons. He loves to draw things like cars, trucks, flowers, and trees, and most of all, the big blue sea. From rockin' red to cool cat blue, with a box of crayons, there's nothing Pete can't do. One day, Pete decided to draw something new. What do you think he's going to draw? His friends! Using lots of colors is so much fun. Pete wanted to use every one. He scribbled and drew a great big smile. His drawings were groovy and rocking with style. Crayons rock! Pete was proud of the pictures he drew. He hopes his friends would dig them too. Pete showed Grumpy Toad first. Grumpy Toad said, "This doesn't look right. Those colors are way too bright." Pete thought, hey, no sweat, that's all right. The next one will be dynamite. Pete showed Gus his picture too. Gus asked, who is this supposed to be? It doesn't really look like me. I don't know, it looks pretty good to me. But Pete thought, hey, no sweat, that's all right. The next one will be just right. Pete finally showed Callie her picture. Callie said, this one is fine, but it feels like something is missing from mine. Pete said, what a mess! Bummer, I guess my drawings aren't the best. Pete started to frown. He put his crayons down. In art class, the teacher asked, Pete, what are you going to make? I don't know. I'm afraid of making a mistake. Pete looked around. Gus drew the coolest superheroes. Callie's flowers were awesome, out of sight. Grumpy's motorcycle was just right. Pete's heart sank. His paper was blank. The gang looked at Pete and said, no sweat, it's all right. It doesn't have to be just right. Your art is cool because it's you. Your art is so unique. Grab your groovy box of crayons. Show us your technique. The teacher agreed. Art should be fun. Art is for everyone. From Rockin' Red to Cool Cat Blue, with a box of crayons, there's nothing you can't do. Pete smiled. There are no rules. It's no big deal. Art is about how it makes you feel. Pete loved his cool art. That's the one thing Pete knew. Suddenly, Pete knew exactly what to do. He tried again. Instead of drawing them one by one, Pete drew the whole gang, just having fun. Wow, way to go, Pete! That's a rockin' masterpiece! Grumpy Toad, Gus, and Callie agreed. Pete's picture was off the charts. See, that's the groovy thing about art. The best art comes from the heart. Crayons rock. The end. I really like that one. All right. Now for another song before our last book. And because we just read about crayons, I thought we'd do a crayon song. So we're going to use some crayons on our magnet board. So we have, what color is this? Yellow, that's right. What color is this? A green one, that's right. And this one? Blue, that's right. And this one? Purple, that's right. And this one? Red, that's right. All right, let's see. We're going to sing 5 Little Crayons. So we got our 5 crayons here. And we're going to point to them when we talk about them, okay? So 5 little crayons waiting in a row. The first one said, I'm red, you know. The second one said, I'm green like a tree. The third one said, I'm blue like the sea. The fourth one said, I'm yellow as the sun. The fifth one said, being purple is fun. 5 little crayons, happy as can be, coloring pictures with you and me. Good job. All right, good job counting and naming the colors. That was really great. All right, should we read our last book? This is a good one. This is Pete the cat and his magic sunglasses. Pete the cat did not feel happy. Pete had never, ever, ever, ever been grumpy before. Pete had the blue cat blues. Then, as if things were not bad enough, along came Grumpy Toad. Grumpy Toad was never happy. He always wore a frown. But Grumpy Toad was not grumpy today. He said, "Their cool blue magic sunglasses make the blues go away. They help you see things in a whole new way." Pete put on the cool blue magic sunglasses. He looked all around. Right on. The birds are singing, the sky is bright, the sun is shining, I'm feeling all right. Pete thanked Grumpy Toad for the cool blue magic sunglasses. He went on his way, and as soon as he saw Squirrel, Squirrel did not look happy. Pete said, "What's wrong, Squirrel? I'm so mad. Nothing is going my way. I only found one acorn today." Pete said, "Try these cool blue magic sunglasses. They help you see things in a new way." Squirrel put on the cool blue magic sunglasses and looked all around. Awesome! The birds are singing, the sky is bright, the sun is shining, I'm feeling all right. Those are some cool sunglasses. Pete said goodbye to Squirrel and continued on his way. Soon he saw his friend Turtle. Turtle did not look happy. "What's wrong, Turtle?" Pete asked. "I'm so frustrated. Nothing is going my way. I am all upside down today." Pete said, "Try these cool blue magic sunglasses. They help you see things in a whole new way." Turtle put on the cool blue magic sunglasses and looked all around. Far out! The birds are singing, the sky is bright, the sun is shining, I'm feeling all right. Pete kept rolling along until he saw Alligator. Alligator did not look happy. "What's wrong, Alligator?" Pete asked. "I'm so sad. Nothing is going my way. No one wants to play with me today." That's not a good feeling. Pete said, "Try these cool blue magic sunglasses. They help you see things in a whole new way." Alligator put on the cool blue magic sunglasses and looked all around. Rockin'! The birds are singing, the sky is bright, the sun is shining, I'm feeling all right. Pete was rolling along and feeling all right when suddenly he fell back. The cool blue magic sunglasses went crack. Uh-oh! Pete didn't know what to do without those glasses. Oh no! Just then, Pete looked up at the tree. Wise Old Owl said, "Pete, you don't need magic sunglasses to see things in a new way. Just remember to look for the good in every day." Pete looked around without his sunglasses. Too cool! The birds are singing, the sky is bright, the sun is shining, we're feeling all right. The end. Great job, everyone. I love this book too. That one's a lot of fun. All right, this is the end of the story time portion, and now we're going to make a fun Pete the Cat craft. So, like I said, you can get a craft kit if you'd like one. You don't need one. You can do this on your own, but we do have lots of extras if you'd like one. So, I'm going to start by, well, first, if you have your template, cut out all the pieces. I already cut mine out, so I have all these little pieces, and I'm going to put the littlest ones up there so I don't lose them. And so you're going to have your big Pizza Cat. This is the part that goes in the front, and there are 3 long rectangles to use as the bands around your head. You'll probably only need 2, but there is an extra one if you'd like one. I did this, and even with my head, I used only 2. So, I'm going to take my blue construction paper, and I'm going to start by tracing these onto the blue construction paper. So I'm just going to take a pencil and the template, and I'm going to trace them on here. Now, you don't have to do it this way. If you wanted to just cut out the template and color it in or paint it, if that's easier, that's also a great option, as opposed to using construction paper, especially if you don't have it. So feel free to use the template instead. So there's that traced, and I'm going to trace one of the rectangles as well. I'm going to do it over here, so if you see me disappear, because I'm leaning on the table. So I'm just going to trace a rectangle. There we go. And then I am going to trace a second rectangle. And then we can cut those big pieces out. Okay. And now we're going to cut it out. I'm going to leave this up here, right on Pete, for reference. So I have my scissors, and so I'm just going to cut out 2 rectangles, and then the face piece, or the front of the headband. It's Pete's face, but it's going to go on our heads. Okay, and there's one rectangle. And there's 2. Ooh. And now for the face piece. This is a great time to practice those fine motor skills with all this cutting. Okay. Last bit. Ta-da! There it is. All right. And now we're going to put the eyes on it. So I'm going to take my yellow piece of construction paper, and I have my eye pieces right here. You really only need to cut out one if you're going to trace it. But if you want to use these, like I said, and just color them in, then you'll want to cut out both. I'm just going to hold it there. You can trace it. I'm going to hold it there and then cut around it. So that way, get a nice eye shape. There's one. And I'm going to do that again. So he has two. Ta-da! Now we have two. So I'm going to take my glue stick. There it is. My glue stick, and I'm going to glue his eyes right onto the face. And now Pete's eyes kind of droop a little bit, so I'm going to make mine point down a little bit, just because Pete's eyes kind of do that, but you can do it however you'd like. So I'm just going to glue these on. There's one. I'm just using a glue stick. A glue stick will work great for this. You can use regular school glue too. That's totally fine. But you don't need any special kind of glue. This glue stick will work perfectly. All right. There are his two eyes. And now we're going to add the iris and the pupil. So I have my black piece of construction paper, and I'm going to take this little small oval, or the bigger oval, and cut out the iris. Like I said, I'm just holding it and cutting it out. Let me see if I can. But you can absolutely trace it ahead of time and then cut it out. And even if the adult wanted to trace everything, and then they can cut it out, or vice versa, they can trace everything and you can cut it out. If they're not ready for scissors, that's a good idea as well. Alright, and I'm going to do the other one now. There we go. Now I have the two little black irises, and I'm going to glue those on as well. I'm going to glue them pretty close to the middle of his face on the eye. Let me show you what I mean. Just because kind of where they sit on Pete. So like that. He's coming together. Alright, and now for the irises, I'm just going to use the little bit that it came with on the template, because they're so small and they're already white, except I did lose one, so I'm going to have to cut out another anyway, but that's alright. So I'm just going to take this little guy and cut out another one. They are very small. So I did lose one already, so you're going to want to be careful. But it is great for your little one learning fine motor, because cutting out all these different sized shapes, it's really great. Okay. Now I have our little tiny pupils. Same thing, I'm going to glue those right on and right in the eye. Again, I'm going to do this more towards the middle of his face. like that. Okay. And the last one. Ta-da! There it is. And last but not least, his nose. Again, I'm just going to use the template piece because his nose is white. So I'm not going to cut out another piece of paper. I'm just going to glue the nose right on. Right on, as Pete would say. Okay, there it is. There he is. It looks just like him. That part is done. And now we can attach the straps. So what I'm going to use is a stapler. You can also use a stapler, or you can use tape. Glue tends to not work as well because you need to wrap it and it tends to come apart. So I would say tape or a stapler is the best bet. If you're afraid of the stapler going on the head, I understand that. I've done it though with this one, and it's pretty safe and secure, it feels, but if your little one's using it a lot, then you might want to use tape instead, and that's completely fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take where the end meets, and I'm going to make them overlap just slightly, just so we have something to staple it onto. And I'm going to hold it there, line it up, and take my stapler and staple it together, just like that. So we have one on one side, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other. There we go. Now I have the two straps. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of measure it on my head. Ooh, kind of center it and see kind of how tight or loose I want it, and then pull it off. And then see, like I have this much overlapping, so you'll probably only need the two bands. And then I'm just going to staple that together too. So first I'm going to staple that end. And then the end on the inside, so it doesn't flap out, I'm also going to staple down. Ta-da! And that's it. Now you have your very own Pete the Cat headband. Isn't that fun? And now you can come into the library and check out some Pete the Cat books, and you can wear your headband while you read your Pete the Cat books. That sounds like a fun time to me. I don't know about you. Okay, and that's it. It was that easy. I really hope you guys do this. And if you do, feel free to send us a picture or come in and show us. We love to see the crafts that you guys do and all the different ways that you do it. Also, again, I will just say we have plenty of these craft kits. So if you haven't gotten one and you want to make one, come on in and grab one, and you'll have all the stuff right there for you. Especially on days like today where it's really rainy. Something like this is really fun to do since you're stuck inside. Alright, and so that's the end of our story time today. Thank you so much for joining me, and hopefully we'll see you soon at the library. If you ever have any questions, you can call us or email us, or just come in and ask us. We're happy to help you, especially if you have any questions about summer reading. Alright, shall we sing our goodbye song now? Okay, ready? See you later, alligator, in a wild crocodile. Give a hug, ladybug, blow a kiss, jellyfish. See you soon, big baboon, out the door, dinosaur. Take care, polar bear, wave goodbye, butterfly. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.